Hello, welcome to the Hawaii Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us today. Quick few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your cameras and microphones are off, so the panelists can't see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening. In fact, there's another one next hour as well. Be sure to sign up for additional ones if you haven't done so already at the same place you signed up for this one. This presentation is being recorded. It'll be available within about a week at strivescan.com/Hawaii. So I've gotten all the housekeeping stuff out of the way, so I will step out of the way and turn it over to our first presenter from Johns Hopkins University.
Great, thank you, Russ. Just getting slides up. All right, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us and all of my colleagues at all these other institutions. We have a lot of information to go over. I'm so happy to kick things off for us. My name is Nick Igo. I'm Assistant Director of Admissions at Johns Hopkins University. I'm also an alumnus, so I'm here to give you a very quick snapshot of the highest order, most important materials of the Johns Hopkins institution, maybe a little bit insight to my own experiences as a student. That being said, it's important to ground us in where we are. The picture behind me, as well as some of these photos here, are pictures of the Homewood campus, which is only one of many different campuses of the Johns Hopkins institution. The vast majority of our network is housed in the greater Baltimore and Washington, D.C. area, with the Homewood campus being located directly in Baltimore, Maryland. We're about 2.5 miles north of the downtown in the city of Baltimore. If any of you have ever been to Baltimore or Washington, D.C., or to be honest, any major city on the Eastern Seaboard, the cities, except from New York City, aren't too large. So Baltimore is a rather small city. So even though we're 2.5 miles away from the downtown, it doesn't feel like the downtown of a city. We very much feel like a residential urban environment for students to really take advantage of. We'll show some pictures of Baltimore in just a second. The Homewood campus comprises the School of Arts and Sciences and Engineering. However, there are many other divisions of the institution to which undergraduate students have access to, including our Applied Physics Laboratory through the Aspire program, the School of Education, the School of Advanced International Studies, especially through our Atchison Fellowship, the Peabody Institute, which is the oldest music conservatory in the nation, where students can pursue a dual degree or just take lessons or classes or join theater troupes or things like that there. Our infamous School of Medicine, where students can do research, shadow doctors, and all of the relevant experiences for pursuits in the medical realm. The Carey Business School, our #1 School of Nursing, and our #1 School of Public Health. And so all of these different divisions, while they are not necessarily geared for undergraduate students, they are welcoming and have availabilities for you. However, it's always important to remember that Johns Hopkins was founded as the first research institution in the United States, and that's going to really be the linchpin of my presentation today. Before we talk about research and those hands-on experiences that make us well known, I do want to also talk about our curriculum. We have 52 majors and 46 minors available to you. Our open and flexible liberal arts program starts in the application process. You do not need to choose a major or a program or a school in order to apply to Johns Hopkins. We consider your admissions and validity for admissions for all available programs so that no matter what your interests are, you can major in that program. The one exception to that rule is biomedical engineering. Our program is impacted. We do admit students directly into that program. So if that is something you are interested in to get involved in our #1 biomedical engineering program, you must indicate so on your application. However, 98% of students at Hopkins are truly here for the pre-professional experiences. These include research and internships, studying abroad, and other professional development experiences. But the vast majority of our students are going to be doing research experiences. On average, over the course of your 4 years at Johns Hopkins, an undergraduate student will complete about 2 research projects. And at least one of those will end up being some sort of publication likely. Many of our undergraduate students are working with our Nobel Prize winning faculty over at the School of Medicine, on our own Homewood campus, or in Washington, D.C. and around the world. However, it's really important for me to explain that undergraduate students really get to pursue their own research experiences here if that's something that's exciting to you. If you've ever asked yourself a big question or had a huge entrepreneurial idea, you're able to execute that and explore that at Johns Hopkins. We give the single largest research grant to undergraduate students in the nation, totaling more than $10,000 per year for 4 years for students who wish to pursue their own independent research projects. And these are students who aren't necessarily just working with faculty members and applying for grants separately. These are through through the programs that already inherently exist as a part of our campus. We're really able to do that because we have the largest research budget in the United States by about $1.3 billion. And so this really sets us apart from from pretty much any other institution in terms of being able to complete hands-on learned experiences as an undergraduate student, right? One of the questions I get all the time is, am I going to have to compete with graduate students? No, not at Johns Hopkins. We have those resources to support the world's best and brightest in the pursuit of new knowledge. Of course, we're going to have an incredibly vibrant extracurricular life that's part of the admissions process. We're trying to build an exciting and diverse community. All of our clubs and organizations are entirely student run. The administration does not own or monitor any one particular club. So all of our students are truly pushing the campus in the direction that they want to see it go in, which I think is really dynamic. There's so many clubs and organizations on campus now that didn't exist when I was a student. And I think that's reflective of the student experiences as they change over time. The wonderful city of Baltimore is incredibly accessible with free public transportation. The largest population in the city of Baltimore is college-age students. And so it's a really young, education-driven city. We're one of the best cities in the nation for tech startups and other entrepreneurial endeavors, particularly medtech and other healthcare startups. So lots of really wonderful resources and a very beautiful, scenic, accessible city. The Life Design Laboratory is our unique take on our career preparatory curriculum. With our commitment to meet 100% of demonstrated need for all admitted students, regardless of citizenship in the United States, international citizenship, or anything of the sort. We do not package loans as a part of our financial aid for any student coming to Johns Hopkins. It's our expectation that students graduate debt-free. Early decision 1, 2, and regular decision, but at this point, I am going to stop my presentation and allow my next colleague to present.
Thank you very much. A couple things to note for our attendees. Use the Q&A to ask questions of our presenters at any point. If it's for a specific school, just make sure to name the school in your question. Also, keep an eye on the chat. That you might get information there from our representatives, links, contact info, that sort of thing. Up next, we'll hear from the representative from the Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics.
Hello all, my name is Brandon Weiss with PIA, the Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics. Simply stated, what we do at PIA is we prepare and propel our graduates for careers in aviation, aerospace, and beyond technologies. So we provide the hands-on education and training necessary to be able to not only be qualified to work in these fields, but actually be licensed or certified to work in these fields. So my programs will culminate with students having a chance not only to earn their degree and or certification, depending on their program, but also having a chance to test for and obtain their FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, Airframe and Power Plant certification, and or their FCC, Federal Communication Commission General Radio Telephone Operator license, qualifying them to legally be able to work on aircraft, planes, jets, drones, blimps, rockets, you name it. If it moves mechanically, our students are qualified or overqualified to work on it. What I will do now is share my screen, because I'm a visual learner and I love not only to hear information, but be able to take it in that visual way as well. So PIA has been in existence for over 90 years. We were actually founded out of the Glenn Curtiss and Orville Wright flying service. That's the same Orville Wright of the Wright brothers that was the first in flight. So an amazing, rich history, but I'm equally excited for the present opportunities that we can offer our students. So PIA graduates have gone on to work at, just to name a few, NASA, SpaceX, Aerojet Rocketdyne, the top aerospace organizations, commercial airlines like Piedmont, Boeing, American, Delta, technology companies like Lockheed Martin, Pratt and Whitney. Some of our graduates have gone on to work for Stat Medevac, medical transport, cargo transport. Disney will hire our graduates as well as amusement parks to work on roller coasters, cruise ships, as well as entertainment from Hollywood to skydiving to aviation used in farming. So many different paths under the aeronautical umbrella. PIA is an elite and unique educational opportunity. And one of the things that makes us elite is being Forbes' #1 two-year trade school, not for aviation or aerospace, for all trade schools across the world, based on how much our students earn, the quality of our education, and the opportunities that they can lead to. What makes our program so unique is our students have a chance to work on actual aircraft while in our programs, to live out the lessons they learn. We have our own private hangars at every one of my campuses because we are the Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics, but we actually have campuses beyond Pittsburgh, which I'll share in just a minute. But planes, jets, helicopters, engines, propulsion systems, avionics, aviation electronic systems, our students are having a chance to work on while going to school. So we have campuses in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, our main campus, Youngstown, Ohio, Hagerstown, Maryland, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, right off the shore. Different strokes for different folks, and something I would definitely dive in if you were interested for which campus would best suit you and your needs educationally and personally. One of the things people always ask me is, what does it look like to be a student at PIA? And instead of tell you, I would much rather show you. This is the life of our students living out the lessons they learn in our on-campus hangars. So at PIA, we offer two programs, very specialized, very specific: aviation maintenance technology and avionics or aviation electronics technology. Our aviation maintenance program is offered as an associate in specialized technology degree program at our Pittsburgh main campus. In 21 months, it can be completed. Or for the right kind of student who wants to skip the general education and just focus on that trade and technical side, any of our branch campus offer this program as a 16-month certification. Both culminate in being certified by the FAA. The other program that we offer is aviation electronics technology, only offered at our Pittsburgh main campus as an associate in specialized technology degree program, which can be completed in 21 months. Aviation maintenance is the brawn of the aircraft, the muscle, the wings, landing gear, propulsion systems, while aviation electronics is all the communication aspects, navigation, radar, flight control that allow the plane to properly function, or rocket depending on the path. We also do, for the right student, offer a dual ticket option, both programs in 33 months. And what I will close out with today before passing over is just commending each one of you for being here today, taking the right step in your educational exploration. So if you're someone who's interested in technology, problem solving, and working in an untraditional career setting with literally cutting edge and beyond level technology, perhaps trade education or aviation or aerospace is right for you. I wish you good luck in all you do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. And I will remind everyone, questions for our presenters, use the Q&A button. And again, pay attention to the chat because some information might be coming your way from our presenters, like links and contact info and that sort of fun stuff. Up next, we will hear from the University of Northern Colorado.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me this afternoon and joining us this afternoon. Let me go ahead and get my screen shared here. All right, so hopefully y'all are able to see that. So my name is Whitney Bonner. I'm the Associate Director of Recruitment at the University of Northern Colorado, and we are located in Greeley, Colorado, which is about an hour north of Denver. So I'm going to go quickly through and kind of share some of those key highlights about our campus. All right, so why do UNC Bears choose UNC? So we were founded as the state normal school. And so what that means is that we were founded as the state teacher college in 1889. So we have a long-standing history of teaching and learning at our institution. If you are interested in education and want to become a teacher, you're looking at the right place. If you're not interested in that field, you're also looking at the right place because you're going to be in a classroom experience and environment that is focused, like I said, on teaching and learning. The quality of our faculty, as you can see, we have award-winning faculty who are guiding our students to a lot of different careers and opportunities. Our size of institution, we are about 11,000 undergraduate students. And so we are a medium-sized institution. So with that, you're going to have a lot of access to those professional faculty members to both learn your experiences that are going to take you beyond your program, as well as they're going to take you into experiences while you're studying your undergraduate degree, which do include undergraduate research. So within the state of Colorado, we are the most affordable research institution, and we do see our undergraduate students completing research at a much higher rate than other institutions in the state. And so if that is something that you are interested in, that's an opportunity for you. And that can come in the form of social research all the way up into scientific research. Within our academic facilities, we have over 13 different research institutions and centers on our campus. So that's where you're going to have that opportunity to pair with a faculty member to do research, get a lot of hands-on learning opportunities where you are then able to apply that upon graduation in your career field or also in your graduate studies, depending on what you are looking to do. In terms of job outcomes, the next slide that you see is going to see some of those different opportunities that our graduates are pursuing. We do have an alumni advising career network with over 400 different alums who are participating in that. And so that's that opportunity where you are able to build those connections with alumni, create those lifelong relationships who can then help you with what that job outcome looks like when you are ready to graduate. One of the things I want to touch on that's not on this screen, but why are Bears choosing UNC? It's also, like I said, our location in Colorado. So while we are an hour north of Denver, we are very centrally located. So you're about an hour from Rocky Mountain National Park. So if you're interested in seeing the Rockies of Colorado, you're very, very close. If you're interested in that experience in snowboarding and skiing and snowshoeing, you're also very close to being able to do that. We're about 20 minutes from the foothills where you will see all kinds of different mountain biking and hiking opportunities. And if you're interested in whitewater rafting, we've got that also. That's one of the beauties of Colorado is that you are able to access all of those different things, which are one of those main student experiences that are kind of experiential learning outside of the classroom, where you're able to kind of just get out, see the things, build community with your fellow Bears, and kind of just take a break from some of those academics also. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is where are graduates working? So with a degree from UNC, you can see, you're going to notice some nationally recognized companies on this screen, as well as some local to Colorado companies. We have about 83% of our students who are saying they would absolutely do it all over again with their program of choice. And about 85% of our students are also saying, yep, I am happy with my degree and I am ready to roll. We do see a lot of our students also returning for graduate school at UNC because we do have master's level and PhD programs as well. You're also able to see on the screen what our average starting salary are for undergraduate and graduate students. One thing that I didn't touch on in the previous screen is just kind of letting you know what our institution, kind of where our stance is. So I mentioned that we were a state normal school. We also have amazing programs in nursing, in business, as well as in social and exercise sciences as well. So we are a liberal arts institution. And so we have over 100 different programs to choose from. So there's kind of a lot of different opportunities, which probably kind of shows you that within where our graduates are working. There's a lot of different sectors that we see our students going into. Another thing that I want to cover is also related to some of those campus resources. So outside of the classroom, what are the things that you're going to be able to be involved in? We have over 32 different resource and cultural centers on our campus. Our Asian Pacific American Student Services is one of the cultural centers that I do want to highlight, and that is listed on the screen that you'll see. So our different cultural centers are created in singular houses on our campus. So they're not part of a larger academic building. They're actually singular homes where you're able to go in, have access to professional staff that work in that facility and kind of that are available to provide those social and emotional supports that you might be looking for as a student who is in their first year in college. You can see some of those other different resources that are available. And then obviously we have tutoring, writing centers, math centers, those kinds of things. With that though, I can see Russ is on the screen. I'm gonna go ahead and say, we hope to see you soon on our campus, whether that's virtually through a virtual visit or physically in person. I do have our visit website listed as well as my contact information. So please don't hesitate to reach out should you need absolutely anything. Thank you all again for being here.
Thank you very much. And again, I know that it's repetitive, but it's important that if you have any questions, use the Q&A button. You can do that at any time to ask our representatives questions. Up next, we will hear from the representative from Creighton University.
Hello, welcome everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We'll get started right away and jump into my presentation. All right, well, Creighton University, we are a national university. Here's some great pictures of campus. We're located right in the heart of downtown Omaha. So most people think Omaha, Nebraska, corn, cows, right? What you'll get is a really diverse community. Omaha has the same population as the island of Oahu, to give you some perspective there. And we do get about 7% of our student population from Hawaii as well. So a lot of support services available to students, either through the Ohana Connection, if you are a parent tuning in. And then we also have a lot of resources through the Hawaii Club on campus. Okay, but to give you a general background of Creighton University, we are a Jesuit Catholic institution. The Jesuits are the largest order of priests found within the Catholic Church. They have some really great Jesuit values, being men and women born with others. What that means is you'll have a lot of opportunity to volunteer, to give back through different resources like the Neuroscience Club, the Pre-Med Club, or through our Schlegel Center for Service and Justice. We also have a really great Jesuit value called Cura Personalis, or care for the person. What that looks like for you as a student is those smaller courses. Average class is about 23 to 24 students, and you'll have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio. One thing that the Jesuits are really skilled at is that discernment process. So as a Creighton student, you'll start out with that liberal arts background. That liberal arts education is something that's important. We have over 140 different academic programs for you to choose from. Some of our really big strengths are in the health sciences, especially with our students coming from Hawaii. The background and the reach in Hawaii is pretty incredible. If you ask your dentist, your doctor, and your pharmacist where they went to undergrad or professional school, at least one of those is going to have that Jesuit tie, or that Creighton University tie, which is pretty great. At Creighton, we have about 4,400 undergraduates, another 4,000 roughly graduate, professional, and online students. And we do have all 50 states and about 50 different countries represented. So again, we're located in that Midwest area, but our reach does go coast to coast. As a student, you'll have the choice of 3 undergraduate colleges. The College of Arts and Sciences, that's the oldest and largest college, the Whittier College of Business, and our direct entry College of Nursing. So if we have any future nurses out there, once you're accepted into Creighton and the College of Nursing, you will not have to reapply at any time. So that's a huge draw for our students. They have that safety, they have that collaborative kind of process from freshman year, because you're not competing with your classmates for a spot in that nursing program. You have that safety net that's already built in. Should you decide to come to Creighton and you have a pre-professional interest, we do a great job of getting our students into professional schools. You're welcome to stick around for another 3-4 years at Creighton. We have our own dental program, law, medicine, occupational therapy, pharmacy, physical therapy, physician assistant, as well as about 50 graduate programs. So about half of our students from our College of Arts and Sciences decide to continue their education right away. We do have some accelerated tracks, PT, OT, pharmacy. You can graduate in 5 or 6 years with that doctorate program. So one thing that we do well at Creighton is undergraduate research. On the right, you'll see Dr. Julie Sokup. She is the director for our Center for Undergraduate Research and Scholarship. She'll help you find those resources. If you're interested, I'll post in the chat a few of the internal opportunities through both our undergraduate programs and through our professional schools. As an undergraduate, you can do research with med school faculty or faculty in biochemistry, theology. There's opportunities all across different majors. And we just got our results back this year, and we have 3 Goldwater Scholars, so one of the really prestigious research awards for our students to compete with. As a student at Creighton, and as a student coming from Hawaii, it's going to be a big transition. We have a lot of support systems built in to help you be successful. So the academic success piece, when you're taking those difficult courses, think biochemistry, think calculus, we want you to have someone to support you. So our Academic Success Center, that's through our Creighton Edge. So that's our umbrella term for these 3 separate areas. Free tutoring is offered every single day of the week, 5 nights a week. You'll have walk-in tutoring offered for some of our most difficult courses. Think biology, chemistry, nursing, and math courses. The Career Center, Omaha is actually the #1 city in America for paid internships. And if students and parents are listening, paid is the most important word in that sentence. There's 4 Fortune 500 companies within 2 miles of campus. So excellent opportunities for students to progress in their career and make some money while they're doing that. And then finally, pre-professional advising. I know some of our students have that interest in getting into med school, PTOT, pharmacy, law. We really break down that big goal of getting into professional school and making it a little bit easier for students to follow. So pre-professional advising, you'll take a class each year. We'll do one-on-one advising with students and really help you round out your application. If you look at Creighton students that are applying to med school, for example, if you control for MCAT score and that GPA, our students are still being accepted about 30% higher. The reason for that is that we do a good job of really rounding out that application for students. So I will jump ahead a little bit. And before I wrap up, I did want to share our success rates post-graduation. So if you're wondering, what do Creighton students do once they leave Creighton? Here's a good representation. We have a 99% success rate. So 99% of our students are working within their field of interest full-time, attending graduate or professional school, or doing a full-time service program. So if you do have any questions, my name's Abby Marish, and I will work with all of our students from Hawaii. And I will go ahead and pass it off to our next presenter.
Thank you very much. And again, questions can be asked using the Q&A button at any point. For a specific school, just make sure to name the school in your question. Up next, we will hear from the representative from Whittier College.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erasmo Fuentes. I'm the Director of Admissions for Whittier College. Thank you to the HACAC for hosting this wonderful event and for our facilitator this afternoon. I cannot wait to be back on island and having a delicious malasada from Leonard. So believe me, folks, we'll be seeing you guys really, really soon. But to get started, let's talk a little bit about Whittier College. Whittier is a nationally respected college of the liberal arts and sciences. And I know that oftentimes that particular phrase, liberal arts and sciences, is thrown around, and it can mean one thing at one school and something completely different at another institution. For us, specifically at Whittier College, it's about these 3 specific concepts: exploration, connection, and challenge. You know, we do hope that our liberal arts curriculum provides you the opportunity to explore all of your academic curiosities as you're diving into the various courses that you take. Ultimately, you'll find yourself making connections between class 1 and class 2. And of course, you know, college wouldn't be college without that concept of a challenge. And by challenge, yes, you know, we are referring to the academics being challenging, but at the same time, the co-curricular activities that are designed by Student Life, we also do hope that those particular programs allow you to step out of your comfort zone and try something a little bit different. When it comes to the academic offerings, Whittier College offers over 35 different academic programs. And very much just like any other liberal arts institution, we are not admitting any of our students into a particular program or into a particular school. We admit our students as a whole into the college, and then it is up to you as a student to work with your faculty mentor to decide exactly which academic path you wish to pursue. Some of our most popular programs include psychology, political science, kinesiology, child development. We also have a few pre-professional programs such as pre-law, pre-med, and pre-physical therapy. In addition, we also have a very unique program that's meant for specifically for students that have a very specific academic or professional idea in mind, and that's the Whittier Scholars Program. The Whittier Scholars Program, in a very brief summary, allows our students to self-design their own academic major. So you will have the complete liberty on campus to work with multiple different departments as you are designing your own academic program. A concept that pretty much is true across the board, no matter which academic major you decide to embark on, it's the opportunities for hands-on learning. We definitely do believe that having the opportunity to apply the different theories into practice, it's a big component of the overall learning opportunities at Whittier. Within the classroom, you'll find yourself putting these activities into play by having various academic discussions, labs, and research opportunities. Obviously, across campus, you'll have the opportunities for internships. There's also going to be plenty of opportunities for service projects. And once we return back to somewhat of a normal reality and we're able to turn the corner on the current COVID situation, we do hope that our students will continue to return and do study abroad trips. We are a fairly small institution, folks, with about 1,700 students. Our average class size is 19, and the overall student to faculty ratio on campus, it's about 12-1. You know, our faculty and staff work very, very hard day in and day out at making sure that students don't fall between the cracks by providing them with the individual attention that they deserve. So again, very, very small institution. We are also located in Southern California, very much in the heart of Southern California, in my opinion. We are right in between Los Angeles County and Orange County. And while of course our beaches do not compete with those on island, but we do have a very scenic, beautiful coast down here in Southern California. We have amusement parks, hiking trails, plenty of different opportunities for recreational activities, but obviously you're going to be spending a majority of your time by developing not only your academic skills, but also your professional skills as well. So we're very happy to say that Whittier College has done a very great job in connecting with multiple different employers throughout the Southland here in Southern California. A lot of these opportunities, a lot of these employers are very true and unique to the Southern California area. Perhaps you may not be able to find some of these opportunities anywhere else, but we've been able to place students with, for example, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, which is only located a couple of minutes away from campus, the movie and recording studios out in Hollywood, and also the various sports franchises throughout the Los Angeles and Orange County area. Whittier itself is a very diverse institution. We've been ranked as one of the most diverse liberal arts colleges in the entire country. It's a recognition that we're definitely very happy to have. You know, our student body reflects the diversity that Southern California is known for. At Whittier, you're going to encounter students from, you know, various walks of life, various race, ethnicities, religions, economic backgrounds, as I mentioned, gender identities. And in addition to that, we also have a rapidly pool of international students that's joining our community year over year. You know, having people with so many different points of views, we definitely do believe makes for a very fascinating learning environment. While our school may be small, I am happy to say that we do have a very vibrant on-campus student body. We have over 70 different clubs and organizations. We have the Hawaiian Pacific Islander Club, which puts on wonderful events throughout the year. In addition to that, we have cultural clubs, political clubs. We have our very own version of student government, which pretty much is responsible for putting on different events on campus. We also have our very own brand of fraternities and sororities, which we call societies. A lot of these organizations have been around for like over 100 years, so they're definitely a big part of the overall campus culture. We are also an NCAA Division III school, so if you're interested in competing athletically, we have a total of 22 different programs, and about a third of our students are participating in athletics. Thank you all very much, and we'll look forward to hearing from you soon.
Thank you very much. Ask questions using the Q&A for any of our representatives. Up next, we will hear from the representative from Texas Christian University, also known as TCU.
Hi, y'all. My name is Amanda Johnston, and I am with Texas Christian University, or TCU in Fort Worth, Texas. And I'm really excited to tell you all about what makes TCU unique. And I think what really makes TCU stand out and why students consider TCU as one of their academic options is because we provide students with that ability to have that large college campus feel with that smaller academic environment at a medium-sized university. So what do I mean by that? Well, at TCU, we have a little over 9,400 undergraduates on our campus. So when it comes to that academic space, students have the ability to have that kind of smaller academic environment with an average class size of 27 students and a 13-to-1 student faculty ratio. We want to make sure that students are able to really get a hands-on experience at TCU. We do something called the teacher scholar model. So that's the idea that every student who steps on campus is a scholar at TCU. And that means there's a lot of opportunity for undergraduate research. We don't hire professors who don't want to work with undergraduate students. And we often find that students are able to collaborate with one another and build mentorships with our professors at our TCU community. These will provide excellent educational opportunities for our students. And with our 115 majors and areas of study, there really is something for everyone academically at TCU. And we provide students with some amazing career services and advising that helps support them once they're done with their TCU education, because we do believe that your education at TCU is going to be a foundation for whatever comes next. So we want to make sure that you have that support. And that means that about 85% of our undergraduates are employed or in graduate school within the first 3 months after graduating. So we really do a good job of supporting our students in that academic environment. But we also recognize that you're going to learn just as much outside of the classroom as you are going to learn inside of the classroom. And that's where that large college campus environment comes into play. At TCU, we're ranked 3rd in the nation for student engagement. So there are so many opportunities for students to get actively involved in campus life, to get actively involved in our school spirit community, and to kind of have that traditional horned frog experience. We do ask students to live on campus for their first 2 years. And so that really does help students facilitate that student and school spirit atmosphere. And students do get involved on our campus community, and everything from academic clubs and organizations to Greek life to student clubs and organizations to just fun things that we have going on campus. And in a traditional year, we have over 800 events happening in the duration of the school year. And then of course, Fort Worth is a great place to be. Fort Worth is the 13th largest city in the country, and it's in one of the largest metropolitan areas in the country, the Dallas-Fort Worth metro area. So that means there really is something for everyone in the DFW area. And I always like to say that Fort Worth does a great job of combining that Texas history with the modern culture. So yes, you have the Fort Worth Stockyards and Billy Bob's, which is the largest honky tonk in the country. Thursday night is college night. So if you want to learn how to two-step and line dance, that's a great place to do that. But then we also have the 2nd largest museum district in the country. We have a fun, quirky theater district. We have one of the best ranked zoos in the nation. So you do have a really strong sense of modern culture in the Fort Worth area. And then there's ample school spirit and campus pride. So how do you make TCU a reality? Well, juniors, for those of you who are planning to apply to TCU next fall, our application will open up August 1st. We have our early action and our early decision deadlines are on November 1st, and then February 1st is going to be our regular decision deadline. Early action and regular decision are non-binding, while early decision is a binding deadline. At TCU, we review students for admission holistically. This is a really important part of our process. We really want to get to know our applicants. At TCU, we're a community, and so part of our admissions process is getting to know students and kind of understanding a little bit more about you as a student and kind of who you are as a person. About 2/3 of what we are going to look at is going to be academics, but we're also going to look at academic trends, rigor of curriculum, and then of course we're going to look at a little bit more about who you are. So that's where the co-curricular piece of the admission process comes into play. We're going to get to know you through your essay and for your letters of recommendation. We will be test optional through the class applying to TCU for the fall of 2023. So juniors applying to TCU for next year will be test optional. And at TCU, test optional truly means optional. So not submitting test scores will not negatively impact your admissions process. When you apply for admissions, you apply for a full range of academic merit scholarships. So we review all applicants equitably for our merit scholarships, regardless of what part of the country they come from. We are also test optional for our full range of academic scholarships at TCU. And we encourage all students to submit need-based financial aid documents. TCU considers both the FAFSA and the CSS profile. The FAFSA is what we use for federal financial aid, and then the CSS profile is what we use for institutional financial aid. But one of the things that I really do think makes TCU stand out is the fact that TCU has so much school spirit. So I love to end my presentations by showing you all how to say "Go Frogs." And while we can't be together in person, I hope that you can follow along with me at home. So if everybody could give me a peace sign and then make that peace sign real angry, that's how we say "Go Frogs." And so next time you're in Fort Worth, don't forget to show the frog sign. Go Frogs, y'all.
An angry peace sign to end that. But thank you very much. I'd like to ask all of our representatives turn their cameras back on and their microphones, and we're going to do a quick little Q&A here in the 5 minutes we've got left. A little bit of value added. Plus, I like to play talk show host, so it's kind of fun for me. But it's very simple. First question we have is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Have you answer in the same order that you presented? So we'll start with Johns Hopkins University.
The piece of advice I always give students who ask that question or whenever I'm on a panel is to be authentic to what experience you will thrive in best in college, right? You should approach this process knowing what will allow you to be successful. You're going to have a lot of external factors, parents, friends, peers, online resources, and people without faces on blogs telling you to make decisions that may not be best for you. It's always important to sit with what resources and what experiences will be best for your long-term journey. Be authentic.
Pittsburgh Institute of Aeronautics.
I think the best piece of advice I could give is to empower yourself through educational exploration, to know what options are available to you, like you're doing tonight, but look into a four-year school, a trade school, a community college, to really identify your personality, your passion, your hopes and goals, and how each school can really fit into your needs. And as much as you are qualifying yourself to go to that school, also make sure that school qualifies themselves for your personal path and how they can fit into it. So be open-minded, and perhaps your original choice stays as your ultimate choice, but perhaps along the way you discover something that's more applicable to you. So stay open-minded and explore your options.
University of Northern Colorado.
Yeah, I would expand on what my colleagues have said a little bit. So kind of thinking about the institutions that you want to be involved in and that might be a match for you, and then really actively exploring those institutions through visit opportunities, knowing that many of our campuses are going to open up for the opportunities for visits in the fall. If you're able to get on a campus to see it, please do. And if you're not, take advantage of those virtual visit opportunities where you can connect with current students at the campus and different staff and faculty members, so you're able to really understand what it feels like, because we know that that's one of the biggest things that will ultimately help students find space and place at a campus, is if they feel like it's a great place for them, and if it feels like kind of a home, if you will. So that would be my biggest recommendation, is visit either in person or virtually.
Creighton University.
Yes, I love what Whitney had to say with visiting campus. I know our students from Hawaii do have a unique kind of situation and challenge just getting to all of our campuses. Then once you are on the mainland, you might only have a week or 2 weeks for spring break. How do you fit it all in? If you aren't able to visit campus, see if you can actually connect with a student, whether that's through a virtual meeting or a phone call. I know all of our offices have a lot of resources to connect you to maybe a student from the islands that's made the trip out to the university. So let us know how we can be a resource to you, and don't be afraid to reach out to your admissions counselor.
Whittier College.
I would also like to add, just to be true to yourself, enjoy the process. Do not set yourself up with the idea that you're trying to impress us. We are humans just like you are, and we're looking to meet the real you.
And TCU.
These are all great pieces of advice. I'd like to switch it over to kind of the financial side of things and just say that, remember, there's a huge difference between cost of attendance, what we post on our websites and our books, and what a student's net price might be. So just remember to look at financial aid, look at scholarships, and think about those opportunities. Look at those deadlines. I know I talked about how when you apply for admissions, you also apply for scholarships, but some schools might have specific deadlines for those things. Make sure you're keeping track of that because, again, there is a huge difference between cost of attendance and net price, what you might actually pay, and doing the research ahead of time, making sure that you've submitted all documents that are necessary and applied for financial aid can have a huge impact in the process for you.
Well, I want to thank you all for sharing great advice for students going through the processes right now. And I also want to thank you all for sharing great information about each of your schools. And I want to thank all of our attendees for joining us as well. When you close this window, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, there's another session happening in about 15 minutes. Be sure to sign up for one if you've not done so already at the same place you signed up for this one. And in about a week, you'll be able to find this session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings at strivescan.com/Hawaii. Once again, thank you to each of our representatives for presenting during the session, and thank you all for attending. Have a great rest of your Saturday. Take care.